Stop it. Welcome back to... Look at what I have to put up with people.
I know.
Welcome back to the top 4 of the Calling Birmingham. We have a fantastic matchup for you.
Yes.
With Pablo Pintor's Bravo versus George Key's Azuri.
Oh, wow. And Azuri getting into the semi-final is just hype, right? It's and the other semi-final matchup as well is as a Bravo Icelander.
Let's look more closely at this matchup with some player intros. First up, I think everyone knows this guy, Pablo Pintor, the Spanish Stallion.
I know this dude is just
from
rocking
Sunflower Samurai. He went 10-2 over the weekend. He is a Bravo player through and through. He loves the hero. He's currently playing the hero. He is our Pro Tour 1 winner and Calling Antwerp winner. Is he going to get back-to-back callings?
Oh, well, I mean, we'll soon find out.
He plays in Madrid. His local is Kracaris. I don't think he needs to say any more.
No.
Let's find out a bit more about George Keys. George has gone 10-2 over the weekend. He's currently playing Azuri. His favorite hero is Azuri.
This is brilliant.
So as opposed to our previous players where they swapped, we have these players are loyal to their heroes. George has won RTN.
Yeah.
He plays at Mystic Games in Whitney.
Awesome.
And his local is Income Gaming in Cheltenham in the Cotswolds.
Brilliant. I mean, it's even though that everyone knows who Pablo Pintor is with his absolute fantastic wins. It's also just really amazing to see that we just got local homegrown UK players as well who's just won RTNs, and here we are now semi-final of a calling.
That's a goal foil. That's big money.
That's huge. It's brilliant, and as well. Azuri as well. This guy should be. Or we should. Everyone who's content creators as well, including us. I want to pinch this guy, right? We want to know what this Azuri is. Yeah, in this meta, that's crazy.
On stream already. Both players are ready to go. Azuri has the crown, the spring tunic, snapdragons, and the flick knives. Pablo is running the crown of Providence, tectonic plating, iron rock legs, and the crater fist. These players have played so well to get to this point.
Amazing.
So well. If this game is anything like our top 8 round, we are in for another absolute stormer.
Oh, it's really interesting as well. We're going for the equipment as well for the daggers, because when it comes to Azuri, the daggers are very much just like a key piece of how that strategy is going to work out. It's pretty simple. Most of the time we are going to go with the Spider's Bite and the Nerve Scalpel as well, because Nerve Scalpel is just such a really good card for those pesky defense reactions.
Absolutely.
When you want to get that on hit as well. So we're going with the Spider's Bite. That's blocked up. Isolate, Dominate. Now Azuri, it's going to be, Azuri can do a trickery. It's going to swap that out potentially and then come in with a bigger attack. So Pablo's just thinking here, what are we going to block out? It's going to be quite tough because that he can't actually, do a lot from there. So I think he's...
So we've
no
not...
No Azuri switch.
No Azuri switch.
Just
Pablo gain some life.
And
Pablo goes up to 41.
Yeah.
And we'll see what Bravo can do on his turn.
Yeah. I mean, that's... I like how George there was just sitting there trying to bait out just a card.
Pablo should... I'm right in thinking Pablo should be at 42.
He is on 42.
He took one from the Isolate and then went up by 3.
Yeah. No, so the score's reached up. And we're going in straight for the Starstruck.
Oh, my goodness. Pitching 7, coming in with the Starstruck.
Big old
for 10 damage. If this does 4 or more.
Yeah, this is the crush.
It's the crush.
And then it's going to be a big problem for Azuri, because a lot of she can't do any of her daggers if this hits. And there's only a very select few cards. She wouldn't be able to do any of the sneaky stealth stuff either, because their base attack rate is the maximum of 3. So, we've got to really block this out. So... even if it's just 2
I think we've seen this before today, haven't we?
I think we've definitely been here. We're back.
A bit of deja vu.
We're back with the Starstruck. I think, obviously, it just goes to show how much Starstruck has just kind of been a real big boon for Bravo players to really just help out in this meta. I've been hearing lots of chatter as well that, when you've got Crippling Crush, Spinal Crush, and... them as your main attacks, and you kind of just weave in either a choke slam or something. They're big
George
things.
in the tank there already.
I would be in the tank.
I think the pressure of this top 4 match, a place in the final at stake, is not to be underestimated.
Ooh, a sensor. Interesting.
Blocking
And
for
it's
6.
And blocking for
Or is
7.
Sensor a 3 block?
Sensor's 3
Okay,
block.
all right.
Sensor's 3 block, so it's easy just taking 3 damage.
Taking 3.
But my point, just to finish off, is that Starstruck is just that additional attack that's just got a really relevant crush effect.
I think we've seen 3 pieces of tech for Bravo today that have made a big difference.
Okay, yeah.
Starstruck would be the first.
Or yeah, big
a
time.
yellow card doing 10 damage with that on crush effect is huge.
And even the blocking thing as well with the Unity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we've also seen the Buckler and the Titan's Fist coming into relevance.
Yeah.
And we've just seen the third piece, the Finals Fighting Spirit Blue.
I know.
Which Kale McCreath even agrees is a fantastic piece of tech.
So I've been chatting, I've been pulling Pablo's ear after while you guys have been doing the casting, and he's saying that card has been a very, very useful card for the Lexi matchup because when they come in for 5,
it's
you
now
can just block
5 breakpoint.
Oh yeah, you're blocking for 3, blocking for 2, gain a health.
It's a crazy, crazy block.
It's just been really good, and it's a 3-cost card as well, which just works a lot for a lot of what Bravo wants. And at a push, you can dominate.
Absolutely.
There you go. So we're going in for a Titan's Fist.
Tear Asunder.
Tear Asunder. Tear a Titan.
Tear a Titan.
I'm trying to find something. Yeah, I'm reaching out there.
I mean,
so a 5 dominate. At this point, with a really big healthy deck, plenty of defense reactions, full equipment, I'm not stressing too much, but maybe if George is in a wee bit of a pinch with unless he's got a defense reaction in Arsenal. I think Pablo's sitting there going, that's fine. I probably know this is probably not going to land, but I want some equipment.
I think it's coming.
Maybe.
Unless he's got a sink in Arsenal.
Unless he's going.
There we go. Blocking 5 with the crown. 5. Is he going to use that effect?
Yeah, I think Pablo. I think that's the thing that Pablo was wanting. You know, he goes, I win either way, right? I'm happy to take this equipment early.
I mean, Azuri hasn't got a lot of equipment to block with in this matchup. So
no, I'm just pointing out here as well. Actually, you know, when we were talking about the equipment, no way of recurring. We haven't got any of those silver stuff.
So we're probably looking at more of a stealth-based switch list rather than a contract list.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear at this point. That's the direction we're going. So let's see where we're here. Straight up, we've got
isolate.
It's a yellow. This tells me we're going to see a rainbow, or potential rainbow of all the isolates.
You might be right.
I think so.
All 9.
So
we are going to see an Azuri activation.
Yeah, we'll switch him.
However, Pablo has the answer.
Yeah,
Red Staunch.
Red Staunch. That's
pitching that Finals Fighting Spirit for later on in the game when he may or may not be on lower health.
So we're going to do the switch. What's he doing?
It's a surgical.
It's probably, and you know what? Actually, I mean, if this was a face-up surgical, would you throw a Red Staunch at that?
I mean, it's a good trade for George.
Yeah, exactly. He just went, I know that I'll probably
and the
get that
isolate
effect.
goes back to the bottom of the deck.
Yeah.
And he gets to use it again later.
Yeah, exactly. So he's managed to grab a Red Staunch from a 4 attack. I think that's actually all right.
However, as we've said multiple times this weekend, Bravo wants to get those defense reactions out in the first cycle.
Yeah, and we're just pitching up for the second.
We're going to see a period of 2 or 3 turns later in the game when he dominate, and that's going to be game over.
100%.
That's what Pablo's working to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure fatiguing an Enzuri is going to be possible because of the way he's going to be recurring cards to the bottom of his deck.
I agree. I mean, we've all been used to Bravo for a very long time, especially if we've been playing Flesh and Blood for a good couple of years now. For a lot of us, been jumping in for Monarch. Bravo is just a staple at this point. Zuri we're still all trying to work out how exactly she's doing it. George is clearly the man that is doing such a good job to show us how it all works. There's no way George did not face some Bravos on this journey to get here. There's
been plenty around. Azuri, mainly a Lexi killer by trade, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's well established, absolutely. But I still think that George has to face up against some Bravos. I mean, that's 11 wins to get here.
Well, he must have come through some ninjas and he must have come through some Bravos.
He was facing up against Katsu just to get in the top 8. And I heard that was a pretty close game.
Yeah. So another isolate here, another yellow.
Oh, that's fine. I tell you what,
1 card in hand.
Isolate's not the problem. We all know isolate's not the problem. It's just a 2. And this is the thing; it's got that brilliant warrior mindset about everything, where you just go,
Do we see the Starstruck used to block? Do we see the Starstruck used here to block with Unity? Are we going to get a seismic? Have we got something in Arsenal that could benefit from that?
Yeah, okay. I mean, you know, I just don't know.
No?
No, I don't. I mean, it's a matter of what we're following up with. I'm seeing.
Yeah, I agree.
I've seen a red sigil in his hand as well. So it's
no Azuri this time.
This is just bait. And he got a red choke slam out of that. You know,
blocked up well.
Yeah, blocked up well.
But we are going to see the Starstruck pitched for CNC, I think, then a sigil played at the end of 10.
Yeah, I think so. That seems like the safest bet. Yep. Wow, you're a good Guardian player.
I mean, I've learned a lot today.
You should take
I've learned a lot today. I don't think Bravo is going to be my next endeavor. I think I'll probably stick with Katsu.
Yeah, I tell you what. After watching all this, I really, really, really love Azuri more and more and more.
I think I'm also going to stick with 2 Kodachis in my Katsu deck.
What's wrong with the Zephyr Needle?
No comment.
We're coming in for a CNC for 6. George just thinking about where he's going to do with his blocks. I imagine he's going to block this up. He's got it, right? You know, he's going to block for 6 again. Azuri is one of those heroes, just like you know, Bravo. They can operate fairly well on, you know, low cost cans. I know that Bravo needs to have a lot more to do the bigger impact turns, but you know, Bravo's also fine to just hammer for 4.
Hammer for 4 is not a bad
trade. No, I mean, if everything's a blue, you know, it is what it is.
So Pablo gets the 2-card block for the CNC, nothing to follow up. Play the sigil, go back up to 42, and carry on.
So the poll is out. Pablo.
I mean, can you bet against Pablo apart from in the first round?
Look, we're here. We're non-biased. We're going to hear saying as we see. At the end of the day, Pablo is an extremely well-established player in the game. He's got a lot of wins, you know, and there's not taking it away from it. But in a game of flesh and blood, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Absolutely. I think we saw that in the last game.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
So we are seeing some equipment block here.
Here we go. We're just using
the legs and the buckler.
Showing off the shields. Pure power of just being able to keep good cards so we can just continue to be really aggressive.
And what do we have here? It's a rouse. We have the...
Yeah.
We have the 14 to cover the rouse.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be 7 followed by a 6.
Yeah. I mean, that's I'll tell you what, Rouse the Ancients kind of came out in Monarch.
Could even pitch to get the tectonic plating and then throw in the CNC.
I reckon so. Getting that.
But this is big damage, like 13 damage off of this turn with an on-hit.
But he knows there's no pummel.
He does.
He knows there's no pummel. So sometimes that Rouse the Ancients can just be really cheeky sometimes when you just show off that hand.
But he also doesn't want to lose his arsenal.
No, I know. So I'm just curious how George will sort of navigate this. We know that whatever he's going to throw, he could block up, but then he's just stripping his whole hand.
Absolutely.
But then again, assassins really do have a lot of 0 for 4s.
They do.
With on-hits.
Oh, we have defense reaction from Arsenal because he knows the CNC is coming next.
Yeah, that's very good reading there.
And then this CNC is much less effective. Are we going to see him put it in Arsenal? It's less effective. It's just damage now.
Well, yeah, absolutely. At this point, and the second he swings with the hammer, he's just telegraphing that there's a CNC in Arsenal, so he knows it's coming.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, okay,
we're still going for it.
We're just going to go for it because it's just damage at this point, I imagine.
Made use of his blue pitch card there. Make the tectonic. Come in for 6. It's still threatening 6 damage.
Yeah.
We still have a 10 life point lead at the moment.
Absolutely. And Pablo hasn't really been taking any damage at this point either. And he is chipping George down piece by piece. Classic. That's exactly what Guardian is very much well known for. And Guardian at this point as well, especially against Assassin, he can be have a bit of wiggle room to be quite aggressive. Especially if
he can turn on the dime. Bit of a setup turn and then off he goes.
Yeah, 100%. So managed to keep some cards here. Coming for a Nerve Scalpel for 1. No blocks, take 1. So now his reaction cards have now got -1 defense on the next block. So let's just see.
That is a Spinal Crush in hand, though. We are thinking, so going up to 2, in
Pitch
with
the
the
CNC.
spider's bite now. In with the spider's bite.
It's really cool actually because he's just again looking at the CNC being pitched here. We're
Yeah.
closely looking at this pitch stack.
We think it's going to
Oh,
come
okay.
back around.
It's just taking-
Nothing crazy.
No, nothing
Couple of
crazy, no.
damage. Setting up for the next turn. They're both set up heroes.
Yeah, so Pablo's just got his full hand though. You know, you give Bravo that opportunity to do that. You know, he's going to just take full force, and yeah, you know,
Bravo dominates.
full hand. It's just going
Spinal
to do
crush
that.
incoming.
There we go.
Easy peasy.
I mean, this is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's going to be that's the catchphrase of the day. It is what it is.
2 blues, a seismic surge, a dominated spinal crush for 9,
Classic.
and keeps an Arsenal card.
Yep. Yeah.
What a turn.
What a turn. Easy peasy. So George has just really got, you know, a couple of options here. It's just I'm just going to have to just block for 3. Or even if he's got a defense reaction from Arsenal, that'd be pretty handy. If he
That would
actually
be
did.
very
That'd be really
handy.
handy if he did that.
I don't think we're going to see flick knives used to block as early as we did in the last Azuri game. we saw.
No, I don't believe so either. I think he's going to, you know, it's a good opportunity to just try and maximize this as much
We
as
do
possible.
see him block with a malign,
Yeah.
a blue malign,
Yep.
taking the 6, 1 action,
Yeah.
but that doesn't prevent the attack reaction.
No, not at all. So
And we do see some good cards in hand.
yeah, exactly. So, you know, Azuri can still just, you know, you kind of have that same sort of guardian feel,
Yeah.
right? Where you just go, cool, yeah, I'll just come in with
yeah.
with a tricky attack myself. So I imagine that's something that he's going to try and utilize as best he can.
Isolate with dominate.
Another yellow. So I think we've seen all 3 yellows. So it would be, I don't know if
I think
we've
there
seen
might
any
be
reds.
an equipment block and a fateful scene here,
Okay, what is this?
or a defense reaction from Arsenal. I may be wrong. I think
Yeah.
there's a staunch in Arsenal actually.
Oh, wow, another staunch.
So equipment block,
Okay, so we're blocking for 2.
get rid of that.
All right, so no Arsenal.
Get a card, and he's
Yeah.
got a fate for scene in hand, so he
Okay.
can respond if needs be. If this is a CNC, it's no big deal,
Okay,
but he's
Yeah.
going to block it anyway.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Pablo
I
really,
think it might be a surgical.
Pablo really is.
Oh no,
Oh, a
it's a
sensor.
sensor. That's an interesting choice of card. there.
Wow. Okay.
We are seeing that card make it into this meta.
Yeah, I think the thing is that when you're blocking, he's still just blocked out all well without really, you know. I like how George is just still trying to just sort of he's actually really tricking him out because we're
Yeah.
used to just seeing some really big on hits.
But we do see a crippling crush.
Talk about on hits.
Talk about big on hits. That's
Talk
11
about
damage.
big
No
on hits.
dominate this
No.
time. No dominate, but that is a big on hit.
He's just being Bravo, isn't he?
Just out of interest,
Yeah.
what card would you name against the Bravo if the sensor had hit?
That is a good question.
Would it be crippling crush? Would it be spinal crush?
Hard. It's the sensor has that thing, isn't it? When when you go Chains of Eminence and you just go, I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
And but against Bravo, you just really like. Well, I'm kind of just throwing it out here and hoping it is what it is. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe just say Crippling Crush. Maybe even probably just say Crippling Crush.
2 sink belows used to block 8 there.
You got
Just
it,
enough.
Georgia.
You got it off the sink,
Yeah,
I
if
think.
you got it, you got it. Or did he just pull that from the sink?
He may have had he may have had both in hand.
I think he just drew the double sink. Yeah, if you got it, you got it.
And I think he got a Warmongers off the first sink.
Oh, wow.
And
I believe as
maybe
well.
I'm wrong. Maybe it was that one.
Regardless, we've got a double sync, which is not doing any crush effects, which is pretty handy. But Pablo's still sitting on 40. George is on 21. Even though we're not getting crush effects kicking off, well, some have obviously, but it's just we're chipping over damage, and every time George is trying to apply some damage and pressure, Pablo's just covering it up and still managing to come back with some damage.
Still managed to come back with 7 E-strike here.
It's a 7 strike. Yeah.
Not a bad hand after being
No, after being
dominated spinal crush.
no, but then,
Sorry, non-dominated crippling crush. That one wasn't it?
I tell you what, though, right? This is classic, though. CNC coming in.
Yeah.
Welcome to Rave. E Strike coming back in for 7. Welcome to Rave.
Love it.
This is it's pretty standard stuff. Finally, we've got chip through 1.
1 damage.
Pablo has. Okay. We're coming in now with a
2 blood rot pox.
Yeah.
Because of a spreading plague.
spreading plate. That's the one. Spreading plate. That's really really cool. That's the little trickery.
However, Guardians are
Everyone's
known to have many blues in their deck. He could pay for it if he so wishes,
that's
or he could
fine.
just take the 4 damage.
Yeah, he could take the 4 damage.
Let's see what he's going to go for.
He's just going to take
Hammer
that.
for 4.
Yeah, hammer for 4. Hammer for 4.
Hammer for 4.
Welcome to the British version of Flesh and Blood Calling. We're going for a hammer for 4.
This is the shipping forecast.
This is the shipping forecast. Hammer for 4.
I mean, Bravo could be a sailor, right?
Oh, yeah. Why not? Oh, yeah. So is this the... Simon, can we just agree every time it's the Titan's Fist? Hammer for 4.
Hammer for 4.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well done. Like a golf. Like a good old golf game.
Golf clap.
He's bringing out the hammer.
So, just hammer for 4. And Pablo draws back up. Blocks with 1 card by George. So he's starting to realise... It was a shakedown. He's starting to realise maybe that he's got a bit of a life deficit here.
Yeah. So we've got the hurl. No paying, so it's just a 0-3 go again, which is something that the Jury's not really known to having a lot of go again stuff. So this is one of those handy cards that just helps extend the turn as well. So yeah, so Pablo's having none of it.
Leave no witnesses would be an issue if he didn't have a defense reaction in hand.
Yeah, well, if George knew that, right? If he knew that, but you should expect that. But I know. I hear you, Simon. So yeah, easy block.
Just move to reactions.
Yeah.
Not worried about the attack reaction possibility with the card in hand.
Thank you, chat. Yeah.
Chat, you have absolutely
you're keeping us
been
up.
a motivator all weekend. I want to thank you for just keeping us on our toes and generally for the good atmosphere chat you've all been having. We love that there's although there's maybe been a little bit of contention in some of the games, you guys have responded really well. So thank you very much.
Yeah, you've been brilliant. Thank you so much, guys. So, Pablo Pinto, hammer for 4.
Hammer for 4.
Hammer for 4. Very simply.
We are seeing another shakedown.
What is this? Deja vu?
Deja vu.
No, it's not deja vu. It's shakedown. But this feels like deja vu.
Got him.
We got him.
That's a big card to block with,
I
though.
know. I look, like, George knows.
He's trying to push through. He's got a shred in hand now.
Yes. So this is where we're probably just going to sneak in with a good couple of daggers. Oh, okay, fair enough. I think this is unless he's got a reaction.
Give and take.
Just take 3. Yeah, no, just take 3.
Take 3. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You've got enough life to use it as a resource.
Don't worry about it. And a
CNC.
Wow, we are going in.
Unmovable is
generic.
going nowhere. He's going to use the Crippling Crush and the Macho Grande to block that up.
Easy peasy. Simon, what do you think's coming next?
Wait for it. I'm not sure it's coming.
Oh.
He's dominating.
Oh no. Okay.
No, Seismic Surge.
Seismic Surge.
CNC for 6.
CNC.
Don't go there.
No. I'm just. You started it. You started it. C.
CNC for 6.
CNC for 6. We just got news in from Alan from upstairs. Behave. Yes, sir. So CNC blocked up here. George back on with just 2 cards and 1 in Arsenal. Okay,
We've traded a few turns.
We're back on the.
We've traded a few turns.
Yeah,
Another is that a hurl? Another hurl.
Yeah.
Again, just 3 go again. 0 cost, not paying for the extra.
No, I mean,
doesn't want to get rid of any of these daggers.
It's quite important when it comes to all this stuff. You know, just have a simple 0-3 go again, kind of like a rebel.
And Pablo is happy to take those because
it's just damage. It's just damage, and
a give and take. It's just if you're not going to block, it's just damage.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's really the little chippy things that a jury gets away with, right? Because you're kind of going, I need to keep this because I don't know. I've got an on-hit effect coming, right? So, yeah,
and there's the leave no witnesses. No cards in hand.
We want to wait for.
This is not a threat for Pablo.
Oh, okay. All good. All good.
Fate for scene.
Fate for scene. I'm really enjoying this.
I'm loving this.
I'm really,
this is an
really
absolute
enjoying this.
privilege. And what an event to have as our first
humour side of things.
Calling.
Yeah, but calm, collective calling, everyone. Crippling Crush for 11.
Crippling Crush for 11.
You see, if it was in America...
Welcome to the Crush Forecast.
Welcome to the Crush Forecast. If this was in America, it'll be like, what? Maybe that's, it's really exciting. But, in the British...
Today we anticipate a loss of 2 cards.
It's going to be quite. It's going to be quite crushing outside today.
Quite crippling.
It's quite crippling outside today with the 11 points of damage.
I mean, that's over half of George's remaining life.
Yeah.
I think we might see a 3-card block.
Easy peasy. Easy peasy. But how many crippling crushes have we seen now? Actually, is this
That's
the third?
all 3, I think.
Is that all 3 now? Yeah. Okay. So
Unless there's a remembrance floating around, I'm not sure that's the case.
yeah, I'm not sure either. But that's all 3 crippling crushes coming out, and I think we've still got 1, maybe 2 more spinals left.
George just moves to Arsenal and draws up. I think that is. It's going to be. As I've said all weekend, a game of flesh and blood is never over till it's over.
Absolutely.
And we've seen Pablo come back from worse positions.
Yeah, we have.
And win
tournaments.
tournaments.
Final, absolutely. But I'd say that George was sitting on like 26 something health, and Pablo was sitting on 42. We've managed to creep that into a 10-point deficit.
Hammer for 4.
Thank you, Simon.
No, hammer for 3. He's ruined it. Hammer for 3.
Hammer for 3. Hang on. No.
This is wrong.
No, Alan.
And a sigil for 3.
Oh, okay, right. Alan.
Yeah, no, he did have a very awkward hand.
Hammer for 3.
Because he pitched nothing.
No, I
with
know, but it's a hammer for 3.
Doesn't sound as good, does it, everyone?
We've got a remote control nearby.
Hammer for 3.
Hammer for 3. Yeah. What's on Netflix? I can't be doing with hammer for 3s.
Stop asking me for Netflix and chill, Hamish.
I didn't say chill.
Wow,
Netflix
these people.
Netflix and 3.
Okay, so Nerve Scalpel coming in, which could actually be relevant because we do have a Sink Below in hand, but Pablo's not interested.
No, I mean it's just a nerve scalpel and a.
We've pitched a rainbow of cards to come in for a Spider's Bite for 2.
There's a lot of cards for a Spider Bite for 1.
And the Codex.
Ooh.
Are we going to go and get a Death Touch?
Probably. Oh no, but we got 2. We got 2 floating.
CNC.
Maybe.
Yeah, we go.
Yeah, we go. And he's making those defense reactions. Well, they're not happening. The attack actions are now worse.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be a big block. Equipment, maybe.
This is what we call a pain in the bottom.
Does he want to use his equipment? No, he just takes 6.
I take 6.
He loses a staunch response.
Okay, that's a good target.
But
he's
George gets to ponder, sticks it in Arsenal.
Yeah.
Pablo is now
the frailty.
4-card hand and a frailty.
Yeah, he's still got the frailty there though. His hands are.
Very awkward hand.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Has he got enough to pitch for this spinal?
He's like, I'm going to get rid of this. No, you're not. You're going to have that.
I think he can just pitch for this spinal.
Yeah, that's. I think that might be fun because it's Azuri can just block that up quite
He's got
well.
the seismic, so he needs. If he's got 6 resources, he can dominate.
Yeah.
No, we're going to go for dominate.
Yeah, dominate.
Spinal for 9.
Spinal for 9.
There we go.
Yeah. That's
not a bad response to taking a CNC for 6.
No, that's
and yes, he did lose the staunch response from Arsenal, but this should guarantee a bit more tempo.
We're flying on
cooking on gas, guys.
Yeah,
cooking on gas.
These guys just want to use their health turtles now to push out really effective attacks.
The crush trigger has been appropriately declared.
Thank you, Simon.
And Spinal is left on the table just as a reminder. Arsenal a card, which I believe would be a defense reaction.
Yeah.
And another awkward hand for Pablo.
So George currently is 2/3 through his deck.
All right. So we're coming in with a stealth card, which is eligible for Azuri's attack reaction. I'm seeing a surgical extraction in hand.
This seems pretty classic.
So we're going to sink below, blocking full 6.
Yeah.
What's George going to turn over?
You know what's really interesting is because when he's coming in to do that, he's baiting him.
He's baiting him out.
Because that's what he knows. He's sitting there going, Pablo's going to give you the equipment. And he's going,
absolutely.
I'm telling you I can block for 6. And he's like, cool. I'm not going to give you that. And I'm just going to make this a giant waste. which is
So,
really, really cool.
Pablo is winning the deck race at the moment. He has about 50% of his deck left. George has about a third left.
Yeah.
And this disable is coming in for 7.
Yeah, and no dominate, so no Philo in. It's
No,
just
he's trying to draw some cards here. If it does do 4 or more damage, the Arsenal card will go to the bottom of the deck.
Yeah.
So we need a 2-card block here.
Plus George is on 10 health. I mean, that's a really, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal. 7 is a big chunk of 10.
Yeah. So this is really, I think this is effectively Pablo's, the real plan here. It's just,
I think we're coming round to that pitch stack now.
yeah, and
We're going to see some big attacks coming out.
yeah, absolutely. Because George is going to. I think the only big out George has got here now is that he's got to lace some attacks that are just so disrupting that it's just stopping Pablo the ability to be able to just go. I'm going to just ignore this damage, and I'm going to come and hit you. And he's like, well, you can't because of this is going to actually jank your turn up.
So does he block this card? I think there might be a surgical extraction in hand and a shred.
Okay, so
is Pablo worried about the surgical extraction?
Yeah, he should be.
Okay.
I think he should because surgical extraction.
It's going to remove a card.
Yeah, it's going to completely just. It could be enough to just turn this all around.
He's going to block for 4.
Yes.
Block for 2, sorry, and then react.
So react
for 6.
And I think Pablo just goes, look, you know what? Actually,
he doesn't care.
If you turn around and just get,
he's got an unmovable in hand.
Yeah, but if you turn around and go, got me again, right?
Yeah.
It's like your waste.
Oh, he stopped a death touch. So
he's stopped a
perfect.
Death touch. Yeah, but George knows he's going to stop this death touch. George knows he's going to stop. Oh, and shred.
And the shred, but we got the unmovable.
Oh.
Wrong card.
There we go.
Pablo knows he's made a mistake.
Oh, well, it's all good. He's like this. Ha-ha! Whoops. Disabled. Counterattack.
Bravo on the counterattack, everyone.
Punch. There we go. He's stopping that. And that's really cool, though. I mean, but that is what George needs to do. He needs to turn around and just say, if you ignore this, your turn is going to be a lot worse.
Hammer for 4.
Thank you, Simon. Hammer for 4. So George just needs to just do as much as he can to just disrupt as much as possible. But another 9 turns of hammer for 4, he's out. So he's got really 9 turns to try and claw 21 health.
I sort of feel like this is fatigue through damage. Like
maybe 10 more turns because
Pablo
he's got
is off.
Everything.
Pablo's presenting a pretty decent chunk of damage per turn.
Yeah.
And George is losing cards not only to playing them as attack actions, but also and reactions, but also to defending. And he's lost a lot of life already. Pablo's played out all 3 of his sigils. So the life total would be a lot closer if it weren't for the life gain.
And then I think what Pablo's doing a very, very good job of as well, when you're noticing every time he's firing out a codex of frailty, George is just making sure I have constantly got something.
I think this is going to be another CNC success here because Pablo's got 2 defense reactions in hand.
Yeah.
Is he just going to
double? He's also got armor.
He does. He's only got 2 armor there.
Yeah, but that's good. He's going to have to throw both of those armors.
Is he going to take 6 of this damage just to get the spinal crush off next turn?
Possibly.
Look at him weighing up the options.
Yeah. I mean, that Spider Spike's doing so much work. That's the power of the Assassin's Daggers, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's what I was just saying as well. It's been really interesting that the Codex of Frailty has Baba's making sure that the Codex is definitely going to be played, and I'm just going to have an arsenal so I just don't get my hand ripped from me. So that's been very good. But yeah, Pablo's going, I'll take that CNC.
I think he can pitch and play the spinal here.
Yeah.
Just with the Starstruck and the Unmovable.
Yeah.
And then he arsenals a sink below.
Cool. I mean, that's, But then
that's threatening lethal.
Yeah, it is. But it's wondering as well. We're just back and forth, just trying to wrestle that tempo, which is just, it feels very much like, when you're watching 2 Guardians fight it, duke it out. These, we're just going to block a lot. We're just going to come in, chip in.
Seems like a long time ago now.
I know. So it's not the same thing exactly because, Zuri has a lot more trickery up her sleeve and less armor, but they've still got a lot of good blocking power.
Yeah, blocking with cards but not with equipment. That's the difference here.
Yes.
Pablo has had a total of 9, 10, 13 block with equipment.
Yeah.
I
mean,
believe
that's-
Pablo is running Spanish.
Yeah, I'd imagine he would be running the Spanish. I mean,
He is from
why
Spain
not?
after all.
Yeah, it makes no sense. He's like, nah, we'll tell him.
I mean, sometimes
Yeah,
it's
you
whatever you can get hold of.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. Have you managed to grab hold of a lot of? Are you able to pick up any of the different language history packs?
I haven't. I must admit.
Yeah.
I've preferred to leave it for
What-
people in their home nations.
While they're having a little think, I know I'm going a little bit off track here. What if you had to pick one of the languages from the history packs? Which one would you pick? I know mine is.
I think Italian's the most beautiful, but German makes me laugh more, so I'd choose German.
I choose German too.
Yeah.
It's just something. I don't
Art
know.
of War in German is fantastic.
What is it?
I can't remember. I can't even say it,
Is that good? I can't remember.
but it's a very aggressive.
Oh, yeah, that's it. The only thing is that's the thing we love. Just a bit of aggression.
Although I think snatch in German is Schnapper.
Schnapper.
That's a good one.
Oh wow! I managed to grab a Schnapper
I heard
from
yeah.
the
Alpha
Alpha
Draft and
But
a
anyway,
bit of pink snatch.
I know. Anyway, moving on. So Spinal Crush has came in, and he's blocked it for 6, taken 3, and Spinal Crush is still in effect. He's just throwing down.
He's got a shred in hand.
Yeah. He's got that shred. But I think Pablo kind of just goes, "Why don't you just give me this face-up card? It's not very much like you, a jury, to give me a face-up card."
That's very strange.
Yeah, that's a bit wild, eh? So maybe I've got to give you a card. Maybe I've got to give you cards. But you're on 4, George.
I think he's going to block with a piece of equipment
Yeah.
and a 3 block. And then he's
Yep.
got the defense reaction if he needs it.
Oh,
Oh,
just gives.
he's just
the
gone for the
defense?
5.
Oh, okay. And then the shred on the defense reaction. And Pablo's response is.
Oh,
So he's having a look.
so
What
he
are we getting rid of
banishes,
here?
gets 1 silver off the top banish,
Okay. So
and he
what
gets
do we
to
get
get
here?
rid of a card.
What do we get rid of here, Simon?
I think you've got to get rid of Tyre Asunder, surely.
Matcha Grande.
Oh, well, that's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, it is actually quite tricky.
We've got no seismic on the board, so maybe you get rid of Terra Sunder.
I think so. I mean, the Matcha Grande is not going to fire because we've got no seismic surge tokens.
Macho Grande costs 7, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you need the seismic surge there. But if you just did the Terra Sunder, I think you got to get rid of the Terra Sunder, right? Because
I think you have to.
he could just pitch up. No, or could he? So if you got rid
I
of
mean,
any
you
other cards, you could go Terra Sunder, Hammer for 5.
Hammer for 5, but he would be able to use the tunic
Yeah.
and the flick knives to stay alive.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what he really wants to do. Whereas
I
this,
wonder here if he just pitches the Rouse the Ancients and plays
And
the
he's-
Findle's Fighting Spirit.
he's quids up now. He's quids up.
He's got 2 silver,
Yeah.
nothing to use it on.
He's a. What is it? What's the British slang for a bit of
There you go,
silver?
Findle's Fighting Spirit.
There we go. Easy enough. Coming in for.
Is that a 5?
Come on, Barry. Reveal the card. Thank you. 5.
Yeah. Still lethal.
I've never seen. You know what? It's just weird because when you have that moment of going, I never see a blue fight.
No,
Findle's
it's
Fighting
absolute
Spirit.
phenomenal tech.
Yeah, absolutely. So coming in for 5. And that's going to be he's got to be a 2-card block, right? Oh no, he's taking the 2. He's going down to 2.
Interesting.
God,
Interesting.
George is taking this to the wire. This is awesome.
I'm sorry, George, but you were given a 15% chance by the chat to win this game.
Oh, chat. I hear you.
We are seeing a looking for scrap.
Yeah.
That's
5.
going to come in 5, go again, but it is just damage.
Yeah.
And then we've got 2 pitch floating
Yeah.
for the CNC that's in hand.
Bro, that's 11. And that's very disruptive.
And there's a flick knives, which can make this hit, even if he blocks it.
He can't. He's got to give him some cards, right? This is what Zuri's good for. Give me cards. You can't just take this. Simon, you never answered me about the silver. Is there a British slang for the 10p's and 20s? Is there like...
It's not coppers, that's the other
No, I
one.
know, yeah, shrapnel. It's not,
Shrapnel,
is it shrapnel?
change,
Change.
change.
Oh, it's got a bit of change, mate.
Did you ever see that South Park episode that was about change? It was
No.
like the zombie apocalypse, but it was homeless people asking for change.
Oh, I'm not sure. Well,
Worth a watch.
this was so quick, he's just coming in.
Fully blocked
Yeah.
CNC, taking 2 damage from the looking for scrap.
Yeah.
Coming in 4.
Simon.
He's
Wait there,
waiting.
Wait, let him draw.
Hammer for 4.
Thank you, Simon. Okay, so what's he going to do here? I'm thinking if he's got two more, he's got two more of them in the bank. He might have to. He doesn't want to give up the tunic now.
He doesn't.
He doesn't want to give up the flick knives now, right? Surely this is his last shot of just dropping just a 3-block, going down to 1, and having just that last go to try and push through, and then the equipment starts to get used up to get those last little edges in. George is still looking very much like Bravo's in the seat here, but
Yeah,
George
absolutely.
is, like all the juries, they come down fighting, they're clawing their way
They
out here.
are.
They ain't giving you an easy time.
He's not. He's played well this game. There's not been any massive mistakes, but Pablo is able to just power through.
Absolutely.
He knows this hero inside out.
Yeah.
Round and round.
Yeah.
Upside down.
Simon.
I mean,
me
just
up.
he
You
just
teed me
looks calmly confident.
Okay, yeah, George is right here. He's blocking up. He's got his last time he can do this. He's going to have to use some of his equipment now. We've got the flip knives. We've got the tunic. Tunic's up on 1. I believe he's going to make full use of this tunic now by coming in with the double daggers.
Thanatos, I agree actually that the flick knives would have been good on the spider's bite to get through on that CNC. I think that would have done some made some difference there.
Yeah, I think so, but you never know. There's always another time. There's always another time.
There might be another time. He's
There
gone
might.
down to 1.
Yeah, well, he's still got some equipment left. He knows he's
There is
gonna
another CNC
force-
coming now.
Yeah, there is going to be another CNC coming now because we know what's in his hand, right? So,
Pablo could use the 2-block that's left on equipment here to block the spider's bite, or he can use nothing and block with 2 cards and the 2 equipment to stop the CNC.
yeah,
But it's
it's Codex.
My
I know.
bad. It's a
no,
Codex.
No, it's all good. Codex is coming down. He's going to bring in the CNC. He's coming in with a very, very awkward CNC.
we got there eventually.
He's going to have to give him. He's still got.
He's going to have to
like you
give
said.
2 cards and the equipment, or 3 cards.
So here we go. Pablo having a think here.
And the flick knives are relevant.
2 Ponder tokens.
1 from Codex.
Yeah, and the no, sorry, it's not 2 Ponder tokens. It's a bit of shrapnel, isn't it?
Shrapnel.
Bit of change. 2 bits of change, mate. It's got 2 bits of change and a Ponder token. It's tricking me. This is Yuri doing the trickery.
I think Pablo is blocking absolute minimum that
Yeah.
he needs to, so he
Take
can come
2.
in with a.
Oh, wait, so he's throwing the
Dominate.
flip knives now because he's just making the full use of this. So he's taking.
going to take 3 damage off him.
Yeah, remove that card.
He's going to lose the Macho Grande, and then he's going to play a dominated choke slam.
Wow.
Is it a choke slam?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Card and Arsenal.
Yeah, choke slam. Dominate.
Okay. I wonder what he. Wouldn't it be wild if he actually managed to pick up a defense reaction? Okay. Dominated choke slam.
8.
8. This is it. I mean, it's as simple as that. If he hasn't got a defense reaction in Arsenal, that's he's shaking his head. He hasn't got that defense reaction in Arsenal. I think this is it. Yeah, you can see in George's face. He's just thinking.
Pablo.
Oh man, yeah, well done.
What a game.
Wow.
What a game.
Wow.
Pablo makes his way to another European calling final.
He tell you what, the irony of all of this, right? He surgically extracted that Azuri's like piece by piece.
You're working hard for that one, dude.
Crowd is going wild. I can't wait. Here we are again. Here we are again, everyone. Camera's coming back. Don't you worry. It is Pablo in the final.
Pablo moves to another European calling final. What a game, everyone.
Wow.
Bravo versus Azuri. I think Pablo had 2 game plans there. He was quite clearly fatiguing the Azuri, but he was also able to offer more damage than Azuri could handle.
Yeah, absolutely. I really, 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 really enjoyed that game. I think that George did a fantastic job just trying to showcase the amazing power that Azuri has. I do think Azuri and Assassins in general with against Bravo and Guardians specifically, Guardians it's all that armor. Let's be real.
It's huge.
All that
13
armor.
block throughout the whole game.
It's massive.
Starting on 53 life effectively.
Yeah.
But also having 3 sigils to take that up to 62.
Yeah, I know. It's
Got to get through 62 damage to kill a Bravo right now.
I think George played that game immaculately. I'm giving all this. I'm doing a lot of praise. I know Pablo has won this, but Pablo is going to walk away. He's a king. You know, we all know he's an absolute.
What a performance by
beast.
George Keys.
Yeah, absolutely.
A UK local.
Yeah.
Who has played his absolute heart out today to make it to a Calling top 4.
But we're here, George. Well done. But we're here, Pablo, in the final. Is he? Are we going to bring this in? And everyone's going to be like, One of the best players. Well, we already know he's one of the best players in the world.
Absolutely.
In Flesh and Blood. Are we in contention now to being that conversation again?
I think there is a conversation to be had.
Yeah, 100%.
We haven't got there yet.
No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
We're going to wrap up here. We have just had word that Sebastian Grondel lost to Icelander.
Wow. Okay, so he's been telling me when I've been catching up with him, he's been eating up Guardians.
Samuel has been eating up Guardians.
Wow.
This is big.
This
we have
is
an
huge.
Icelander Bravo final.
Wow.
Is
okay.
Icelander going to take her 3rd big premier event in a row?
Rhea will be jumping if that's the case.
She will be loving this.
Oh my days. I mean, what a story, right? What a story. We've got Dust Till Dawn coming out, and we've Levia as the big thing, right?
Yeah.
Lexi is the aggressive hero. You know, Guardian.
I'm sorry.
Showed up.
Can we agree?
Yes. I mean,
How good is Lexi?
she's still a very good aggressive hero.
How many Lexi got through to the top 8 after 60?
I know. I hear you. There's been a lot of tech against her.
Absolutely.
And I think that maybe she needs to just take a step back a bit here and realize that she's very popular. But regardless, we're here, right? Icelander is just this little, she's this nomad.
Do we have to have a
wandering
conversation?
alone.
Who's going to reach Living Legend first? Briar or Icelander? Okay.
Wow. I mean,
We are gonna wrap it up.
Is a couple of hundred.
We're going to wrap it up and get prepared for what looks to be an incredible final. Come back soon. This is going to be amazing.